lot of excitement, anticipation for the upcoming T20 World Cup. In that case, now it's time to talk about Sri Lanka squad for this big event. So let's get started in our segment, The Outside View, which is powered by Elista.
स्मार्ट हो रहा है इंडिया जैसे इंडिया में बना एलिस्टा स्मार्ट एलईडी टीवी विद वर्ल्ड क्लास क्लैरिटी एंड अमेजिंग फीचर्स.
So speaking of Sri Lanka, they did make it to the finals of the Asia Cup. But when it comes to the ICC events, the team has always witnessed an early exit from there. This time around, they would hope to start afresh and get one step ahead. But that's going to be a big challenge for Sri Lanka, considering the group that they are placed in. Well, we'll talk about that later, but let's have a look at Sri Lanka squad for this T20 World Cup. If we talk about this squad, it's quite similar to the squad that played the Asia Cup. There are just 3 changes in there. Vishnu Gunaratne, who was out of the Asia Cup squad due to injury, has marked her return into the setup. Amma Kanchana has received her call back there, and also we see Satya Sandipani in the setup. Now, Amma Kanchana there has been roped in as a replacement of Rashmi Silva, and that tells us that Sri Lanka are wanting to strengthen their seam attack a little bit there. And speaking of Satya Sandipani, she has replaced Hasini Pereira, who's out of the squad due to injury. Vishnu Gunaratne, well, the under-19 T20 World Cup skipper, she has played a historic tournament, and when in the tournament we saw that she was in good form. She was trying to pile up those big runs for Sri Lanka. We spoke how important it would be for her to perform. She did her part, and now it's another big opportunity for the youngster to come ahead and perform for the side. In the middle order there, of course, we will have Harshita Madhvi, the second highest run getter in the Asia Cup for Sri Lanka. We have Kavisha Dilari there. Either of Anushka Sanjeevani or Kaushini Muthyanggana will take up the wicket-keeping duties for Sri Lanka out there. And spin. We've always spoken that spin is Sri Lanka's strength there. You have 2 experienced spinners in their setup. That's Inoka Ranavira, Ushadi Ranasinghe. We will have to watch out for how they perform for Sri Lanka in this tournament. That was about Sri Lanka's spin attack, but speaking of Sri Lanka's pace attack as well there, you have Tharika Siwandi there. Amma Kanchana has been included in the setup as I mentioned before. Achini Kulasurya, Nilakshi De Silva are also the options who can do part-time bowling there, and Malsha Shehani is also one option for Sri Lanka out there. A big responsibility for Chamari Tapatu to take this team together and conduct themselves in a way that they can dominate the proceedings in this T20 World Cup. In this case, let's have a look on who can be the key players for Sri Lanka in this T20 World Cup. It goes without saying, a lot of responsibility will go onto the shoulders of the skipper herself, Chamari Tapatu. We've been saying this for a very long time now that for Sri Lanka to perform well in any big event, you will have to have Sri Lanka's captain, Chamari Tapatu, perform well for the side. At the top order, we know what capabilities she has. She has proven herself, she has the experience, and for Sri Lanka to do well in this particular tournament, once again, all the eyes will be tight on the Sri Lankan skipper. Look at those numbers. Those are quite decent numbers when it comes to T20 format of the game, and Chamari Tapatu is definitely one player to watch out for when it comes to Sri Lanka's campaign in this tournament. Moving on, if we were talking about Chamari Tapatu and her experience, the other player whose experience will be very important for Sri Lanka is Inoka Ranavira. She was the joint highest wicket taker in the Asia Cup, has all the experience of playing at the big level out there with her variations. She is known to ask difficult questions to the batters, and considering the slow pitches of South Africa there, you might want that Inoka Ranavira special. Only then Sri Lanka can see themselves going ahead in this tournament with their experienced players come again and stand up for the side. And Inoka Ranavira is definitely that one player you would want to perform well for Sri Lanka to do well in this tournament. This was about experience. We also have to talk about a little bit of youngsters there. Vishnu Gunaratne. She has proved herself at the domestic circuit. That's the reason why she was given the opportunity to lead the side into the inaugural edition of the Under-19 T20 World Cup. She's had good game practice. She's played the T20 format of the game when it comes to this inaugural edition of the Under-19 T20 World Cup. Faced some good bowling attacks there and would have got a little bit of confidence coming in from there. Now, yet again, there is a platform for the youngster to perform for the side. She's known to perform well at the top order, and that's what Sri Lanka's aim would be, to get most of their batter who's been performing well for the side at the domestic circuit and at the international level. She has a little bit of experience there playing alongside those big names. So it will be interesting to see how Ashwini Patil goes about her business in this tournament. So these were the players to watch out for, the key players for Sri Lanka, who can be the X-factor player, who can create some surprise there for Sri Lanka. Probably it's going to be Kavisha Dilhari. Middle order batting is very important in T20, as you know that you set the tempo of the game from there. She's a handy off spinner as well, has 14 wickets to her account in this format of the game. Let's see how she performs for Sri Lanka in this tournament. So where is Sri Lanka placed? Sri Lanka are placed in Group 1, where they have the likes of Australia, New Zealand, Bangladesh and the host South Africa. A big challenge for Sri Lanka, but when it comes to the T20 format of the game, you know that nothing is impossible and anything can happen on any given point. What are the predictions of where would Sri Lanka finish in this tournament? Well, probably it seems that considering the group that they are placed in, that Sri Lanka might not be able to go to the second stage out there, but who knows? As I said, anything can happen in the T20 format of the game. Any surprise can come, any upset can come, and that is what Sri Lanka would be hoping to create an upset, and let's see how that pans out for Sri Lanka. Speaking of Sri Lanka's fixture, they will play the first game of the T20 World Cup with the host South Africa, and then they'll face Bangladesh, Australia and New Zealand. Alright then, who according to you would perform exceptionally well for Sri Lanka in this tournament? Let me know your predictions in the comment section below and let's see if that turns right. And before that, let's also have a look on what could be Sri Lanka's playing 11 for their first game against the hosts. Of course, you have the big name of Chamari Attappattu and you'll hope her to pile up those big runs for Sri Lanka and get them a good start there. In the middle order, you have Harshita Madhvi, you have Kavisha Dilhari, Vishnu Gunaratne at the top also there, who you would pin your hopes on to perform well for the side. Spin is their strength, Tinoka Ranavira, Ushadi Ranasinghe, and let's see how is this team gonna go ahead and perform for Sri Lanka. Do you agree with this playing 11? Do you see any changes out there? Do let me know in the comment section below. And for all the updates on women's cricket, stay tuned to Women's Cricket Zone and to Outside View powered by Elsta.
स्मार्ट हो रहा है इंडिया, जैसे इंडिया में बना एलिस्टा स्मार्ट एलईडी टीवी विद वर्ल्ड क्लास क्लैरिटी एंड अमेजिंग फीचर्स.